What'd you think of today?
I thought it was super topical. I thought the topic in general was something that you and I encounter on a daily basis in our practice. I mean, I'm currently handling a deal to the T almost for this exact issue. How about you?
Yeah, I think it was phenomenal. I think that one of my issues sometimes with law school or just school in general is that it lacks the practical application. And this competition, this situation was, like you said, this is literally what I do all day, right? It's negotiating these points in this way, maybe not with a 60-minute time constraint, 4 people staring at me, but generally speaking, it's exactly what we do, right? And so even as somebody who owns a firm and looking to employ, future attorneys and things of that nature, having somebody that's had this type of experience when they come in, even as a first-year associate, oh, you've seen something like this, you have some general idea of what this is about, is huge. It's a huge advantage. So I do hope that they continue to do things of this nature because it has such a real world application and as an employer and for, future law students and things like that, it's gold.
I agree. I think out of the box, it allows students to start thinking creatively, right? There were so many deal points here that the students could just imagine and think and be creative. And there was that discussion of, equity and everything else that you can build into a brand and to allow the students to use that creative portion of their mind to grow, to start growing right now while they're in law school is essential.
I totally agree. I think that sometimes law school or the law gets seen as this very one-dimensional place where it's here are the terms, here are the deals, and they forget that it's humans that are negotiating and there's a holistic approach to deals, right? It's never just the dollar. It's also, well, what can we get here? What can we get there? How can we get creative? And I think that the best types of attorneys are the ones that really can think holistically and not just so streamlined in like the dollars and cents of a deal, but really, okay, what are the long-term goals of my client and how can I use this if there aren't the dollars and cents to apply to this deal, because sometimes they just aren't, right? But what other goals of my clients can I fit into this deal that are a little bit more out of the box or a little bit more out of creative? Or, like you said, equity deals, right? A lot of my clients are thinking a little bit more long-term and in a business mindset, right? Artists these days or creatives these days are much more interested in becoming business people versus just recording artists or versus just designers or whatever the case is, right? They want to be business people. And I think it's a great mindset, and it allows us actually some flexibility, some freedom, and some creativity when we negotiate these deals.
Definitely, and it brings everyone back to why are we here? We're here to be partners. We're here to work together. This is going to be a long-standing relationship. What can we do? What can we get each other to help each other flourish? I think that was important also, just from, the mindset of students and young lawyers that Miami Law is, putting together in its entertainment and sports law program.
I agree. I think that the idea of I want to win versus the win being reaching a deal was a fundamental lesson that they're learning. Because I think, law school can be very competitive. And so I think the mentality of like, how do I get my wins and how do I get my gains? Shifting that mentality to the win is the collaboration, right? And I think that's something that I try to instill in all my associates and in the way that I approach deals, that I think the earlier on they can learn that, the more they will flourish.
Yes, I totally agree with that. That and teamwork with your partner and teamwork with the other side. At the end of the day, I think that's essential.
I totally agree.
Well, thanks to Miami Law. It's a great conference and competition, and excited to keep watching it grow.
Yeah, thanks to UM Law for having us. Super excited to be here, super excited to be a part of this, and really, learning from them just as much as they're learning from us. So really excited to have been here.
Here's the future.